So the new U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia has just arrived, and not a moment too soon, because it looks like the insurrectionists are planning a sequel for tomorrow. But this time, we'll be ready, because actually protecting the United States Capitol, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So let's take on 3 quick related topics. It's kind of a good news, good news day. Let's start with some good news, some very good news. Today's headline: Channing Phillips tapped for 3rd tour as acting U.S. Attorney for D.C. Here's what I want to say about that. I worked with Channing Phillips for decades at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office, and I can tell you he is as fine and as honest and as ethical a public servant as I had the honor to work with during my 30 years as a federal prosecutor. And you know what? I think he's arriving just in time, because the outgoing acting U.S. Attorney is this guy, Michael Sherwin, a Bill Barr acolyte. Michael Sherwin, who worked his butt off dismissing Mike Flynn's criminal case, doing a favor, though, for Donald Trump's criminal associate, Mike Flynn. Michael Sherwin, who has held exactly 1 press conference concerning the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, and when he was asked during that press conference whether it was a domestic terrorism attack on the Capitol, you know what he said? Quote, "I reject the tyranny of labels," close quote. Well, thank you, sport, for your witty banter, for your wordplay, for your punchline, when what the nation needed was leadership. Because what happened at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th was, is, and will forever be recorded in history as domestic terrorism. So I would say Channing Phillips has arrived just in time. Another reason I say that is because of what we learned today. Joint FBI DHS Intel Bulletin warns some domestic violent extremists have discussed plans to take control of the U.S. Capitol and remove Democratic lawmakers on March 4th. That would be tomorrow. So all of these white supremacist groups, domestic terrorist groups, the Proud Boys and the Boogaloo Boys and the Wolverine Boys, all the boy bands, I am sure were inspired listening to the CPAC speeches. Were inspired by insurrectionists like Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley and Donald Trump spewing their nonsense, their garbage, their lies at CPAC. And now all of the white supremacists are gearing up and getting ready to go again tomorrow, with the intel being that they're going to try to take the Capitol. Let's go back to some good news, because this time, unlike January 6th, Joe Biden is in charge. So this time, we'll actually be ready for any attack that the boy groups choose to launch. Let's talk about topic number 3, because we learned some really troubling things at today's Senate hearing into the attack on the Capitol. Quote, D.C. National Guard chief says Pentagon took 3 hours to greenlight troops during Capitol assault. One of the military leaders who advised against deploying troops was Lieutenant General Charles Flynn, the brother of ex-Trump National Security Advisor and admitted felon, I'm adding that part, Michael Flynn. And why did General Charles Flynn say he was refusing to send the National Guard to protect the people in the U.S. Capitol during the attack? Well, because, quote, it would not be good optics, close quote. So I guess dead Capitol police officers and dead rioters and millions of dollars in damage to the U.S. Capitol and Nancy Pelosi's laptop being stolen were better optics in General Charles Flynn's estimation than would have been sending National Guard troops to actually protect the people in the U.S. Capitol. You know, folks, it looks like the law now needs to visit both Flynn brothers, because justice matters.